If you're looking for a great football app, then go over to OneFootball. OneFootball have not just got your latest rumours, latest videos and latest news about your favourite teams, but they tell you about the entire Premier League and football pyramid. So get over to OneFootball and download it now in the link below. Quick app, do it now. What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again, and this is your match preview. It's Everton against Burnley at Burnley. 12:30 kickoff on Saturday. God, do you know how many times I've been getting that wrong today? It's been an absolute joke. Everton go into this game off the back of a fantastic 1-0 defeat at home to Leeds, which if that didn't knock you for six, I don't know what would. Burnley come into this as well on the back of a bit of a kick in themselves. So, yeah, it's a game that Everton need to win. It's a game that Burnley need to win. It's a game that Everton should really go into full of confidence. And actually, I would say that confidence is pretty low. Everton have really lacked some identity in the middle of the park at times. Certainly with the two centre-backs. Different wing-backs, different right-backs, different... The list is endless. All I want to see from Everton this week is some drive, some determination, some reading of the game, some basic concepts of football and defending. Because, you know, Burnley have had a rough season so far. They've had a tough time of it. You know, Burnley currently sit in the Premier League a massive 19th place with one win. You know, this is a team that have struggled all season. And Everton need to go there, stamp their authority on the game and show them who's boss, fundamentally. They need to go there and show them that Everton are a better football team than what they've shown over the last 4 weeks. And that's difficult. That's incredibly difficult for Everton to do because Everton's confidence isn't particularly high. And we can all question decisions Ancelotti made. I question decisions Ancelotti made. You know, I also put a tweet out on Twitter about, you know, I don't agree with all of Carlo's tactics, but I'm not going to be calling him for the sack anytime soon. You know, this is a man that has got to be backed. This is a man that would cost far too much money to sack. This is a man who has lifted Champions Leagues, titles, cups. He's got everything that Everton have not had since the 80s. So we need to stick to him. We need to stick to what he says, although we don't agree with it all the time. You know, I saw that decision. Iwobi against Fulham. Had a great game. Had an absolutely fantastic game. Up and down that right wing. Playing in that sort of right wing back role. Did it really well. Gets moved over to left back. An absolute car crash. It was an absolute car crash. But then it wasn't just that. Decore for the goal. All of the Everton players are over that side of the pitch. Who is in the middle marking Rafinha for Leeds? No one. Decore is the wrong side of the man. He's nowhere near him. You know, a lot of people have sat there and at the start of the season going, yeah, Decore's been a great signing. It's done very little for me. Very, very, very little. And again, it's like the Everton midfield of old. Done very little. The only one who has stood out for me fairly consistently is Allen. And don't get me wrong, even he's had a couple of games where he's not shown up. But I expect that from a player that hasn't played in the Premier League before. I don't expect that from Decore. So I'm expecting a better match from Decore. You know, I'm not going to jump on his back. He's got more than enough time to get it right and be the player that I'm hoping. And I think he's capable of. You know, this is a lad who was quoted at £50 million the season before. He's more than good enough. He just needs to show it. Everton going forward. You know, again, we proved against Leeds. We looked a bit toothless. It was just like the old Marco Silva days. You know, there was huff, there was puff, but there was nothing. There was nothing. Everton have to address that. Everton have to deliver something constructive in front of goal. Because, you know, Richarlison's been great. Rodriguez has been great. Calvert-Lewin's been great. But none of them had great games against Leeds. And it also shows how reliant we are on the left-hand side with Luca Dean delivering them balls over to the box, because when we played with someone like Iwobi who didn't deliver those crosses, we really struggled. And this is where Nkunku has to start. He has to start. I'm literally going to sit here screaming if he doesn't start. He has to start, because if he doesn't start, it's a real struggle. Like, it'll be a real struggle, because he is capable of breaking down a side on his own. He's skillful. He's quick. He can cross. We've seen it against Premier League teams like West Ham at Goodison. And we've seen it in the Carabao Cup against other teams. He has to start. So, my starting team, Pickford and Nkunku, Holgate, Keane, John Joe Kenny if he's fit, or Seamus, whoever's fit. I don't know who's fit on the right-hand side. Just stick a player who is a right-back at right-back. Not someone like, you know, Tom Davies, who's not a footballer. You may as well, I tell you what you may as well have done. You may as well have got one of the first aiders out of the crowd at Goodison and just got them to stand there. Midfield, I want Alan, Decore. I'll go with James Rodriguez. I'll go with James Rodriguez for the flat three. Rodriguez playing on the right-hand side of that three. And up front, I'll go with Charleston on the left. I'll go Dominic Calvert-Lewin directly in the middle. And I might shock you a few here. I might shock a few of you. But I'll put Bernard on the right. And the reason for that is I want him to cut in. I want him to cut in because very often he cuts in on his right foot when he plays on the left, which is fine. But I want him to be able to sort of chop and change the way that he's running. So if he occasionally cuts in on his left, fine. If he goes down the outside on his right and he delivers more balls in, fine. But I give him the opportunity to play. Now, ideally, I would start Anthony Gordon. But I have a funny feeling that boat has sailed. That boat's gone. I don't know what's happened. I don't understand how he's not in the team. But that boat must have gone, because how we've not seen him for the last 6 or 7 games is absolutely beyond me. But again, these are decisions Carlo makes that I've simply got to back. So I'm gonna. Score prediction. You're going to hate me for this. And look, I come here and I give a positive score prediction every week. I always say Everton's going to win, always. We'll beat Liverpool 2-0. We'll beat Fulham. I think I was almost right with that, 3-2. Last week, we beat Leeds 4-2. This week, I'm going 1-1. I'm going 1-1. I'd love to win. I'm just a bit devoid of confidence. So, guys, I'm leaving it there. Have a fantastic Friday night. It's even though it's Thursday. And I'll see you on Saturday. Peace.
What the fuck's that? What is that?
Cop-hates and gobshites.
Alive can't put me in a box. I redefine any definition you got. I am the tiger, I'm making steps to the top. The flames, I whip it up, you just gotta hand me the rock. Take a seat, you cannot stand it. All I know, the flow harder than a Scotch bunny. Don't try study me, you cannot manage. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. this ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.